just a quick video to give you a rundown of the dashboard, but more specifically the daily log. I want to do a deep dive into that. So firstly, this is like when you log in, once you've got your tech set up, this is fundamentally what you'll see. We've got like your daily log, which like I said, I'm going to do a deep dive into in a moment. The movement, we've got a dreams log. So for those that are interested in logging dreams as a stepping stone to lucid dreaming, logging dreams is a really powerful step. Lots of insights can be drawn from dreams as well. So sleep, our fundamental overview of breakdown of sleep, meditation, recovery. Here we can add a habit, like there's a habit tracker, and then there's some resources down below. So I'll do a deep dive into each of these at another time in another video, but for now, just wanted to explain like how to get the most out of this daily log, because this is a really freaking powerful tool. And I'm going to explain why. So when you come here, one of the first steps to do is you can choose who you share your data with, and who shares their data with you. So if you've got other friends or people in your circle that you would like to do this with, to share like a daily log, it's like journaling, but really specific and relevant to moving forward. There's so much of the world is pulling our attention outwards, and it's part of doing this log or this journal, however you want to refer to it, is really an opportunity to be interoceptive and bring your attention back inwards and look at, well, what's fundamentally happening inside me, and how's that supporting, or how's that contradicting what it is that I'm looking to do, what I'm trying to do. And so that's one of the fundamentals of this log are. And so bringing like those close to you into this platform and sharing your log can be a really powerful thing to do. And so what I want you to do is, you can see here, select who to share your dashboard with. And what I want you to do is look for me. So there's Troy at IMC, and then update. And essentially then I will be able to access your dashboard. Essentially I'll be able to see what you see. And in that, you might think, well, there's certain things that I don't want you to see. And really what I want to encourage here is like the real true power of this log is knowing that the data is encrypted. So outside the people you share it with, no one else can see it. It's fully encrypted and it's fully safe. Not even the programmers can see what's actually put in there. And beyond that, it's like the mind is constantly trying to keep us safe and to protect us. And one of the things, like even modern society and positive psychology, we're constantly just trying to be okay, and we're focusing on the good, and we're not putting our attention on that which is giving us challenge. Within this log, it's an opportunity, like I said, to be interoceptive, and really what we're working towards is healing, or creating an environment or a space where we can support each other to heal. And in doing that, it's like as being as vulnerable as we can is where you're going to get the most out of completing this log on a daily basis, because the mind's trying to protect, compartmentalize where in our life we've had moments of peak experience or trauma, and it's in here that we're able to share it and let the light in. And as part of like the 6-week challenge, we then work towards processing some of these like this locked vitality, this stuck energy. And so we'll go through this form, and it'll make more sense as we go through. So each day you come, and the more you put into it, the more energy you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. We encourage you to do it in the morning, because then it's more like intention setting for the day, and it's structured to actually do it in the morning. Understand that not always you can do it in the morning. Something comes up, do it in the afternoon. If you do it in the afternoon, it becomes more of a reflection than an intention. And as high performers, or those of us that are looking to become the expression of our potential, like to become what we can become, to nurture that seed within, we take a performance-based approach, like productivity, like how productive were you yesterday? but we match that against well-being as well. Like these are a couple of the key metrics that we measure subjectively, like productivity and well-being. So here, this is just a sliding scale. So you just essentially click where it is that you want to indicate, and you'll come up with your own range where you're comfortable. But say, I was 6 out of 10 productive yesterday, and my well-being is 8. And so then we move down to goal. And so here, this is something you'll see that I didn't actually type that. That's set. So you can change this daily, but I encourage you to have, like, whether it's a short-term, medium-term, long-term goal, but something that you're working towards, and you decide the range, or if you're working with me in a coaching capacity, we'll work on that together. What is the goal that you're currently working on? And we put that in there. And then when you click save down the bottom, it will log your focus. That then saves it. And so then it'll be there again tomorrow, the next time you do the log. So it's one of the things that is static. But to change it, all you need to do is delete it and type over it. So I'll leave that one there. And then actions, what actions are you going to take today towards your goal? And so take a moment just to really get clear, setting intentions and feel into it. All right, these are the key things that I'm going to get done. And really focus on, these are the things that you are going to get done. And then when you think about the person you want to be, or the person that has what it is that you want, what habits do you need to nurture on a day-to-day basis? And, was there any ways that you nurtured them yesterday? And so here we're looking at, what habits do I need to be developing in order to have what it is that I want? And so then we complete that, put that in there, whatever that might be for you. And then B is, like, what habits do you need to let go of? Where are you stuck? Maybe it's watching Netflix, or maybe it's scrolling on Instagram, or maybe it's, drinking alcohol during the week, or maybe it's whatever it might be, things that are detracting from your experience. And so then we move to contractions. Contractions, this is a big one, because like I mentioned before, like, we condition to, there's so much of the personal development movement is about, focusing on the positive, not the negative. And, I appreciate that. There's definitely a place for that. But what we're doing here is also becoming aware of the places where we contract throughout the day. It might be that, you'll start thinking of something and you'll feel in your body how your body's just contracted in. Or it might be someone says something and you'll feel small. Or it might be that your mind will start looping, or you feel a sudden rush of emotion. These are contractions. And what they're doing is it's a pointer, it's an indicator that there's something there. There's a charge, there's an energy there that's somewhat trapped in your body, and it's likely happened at some point in adolescence when you didn't have the social emotional skills to be able to process it, and the mind compartmentalizes it, and because the mind is trying to help us to be okay. And so we have locked vitality, and it's in our body, and it's creating the fuel for patterns like that we're running, like mind patterns and patterns of behavior. And so what we're aiming to do here is de-energize that. We're going to take away that fuel, and so then there's no longer that charge. And so when you go to do something that you want to do, potentially in the past, there's a pattern that doesn't allow you to actually achieve it. And so what we do here is we release that. We de-energize the trauma or the stuck energy, so that pattern no longer plays out. It might be that there's still the thoughts are there, but there's not that energetic charge. There's not that peak emotion. And what we find is that we expand. Where we were contracted before, we expand, and we expand our experience. So this is really powerful. And so we log them here, so we become aware during the day where we've contracted. And this is where we need to be really honest with ourselves and be a little vulnerable, knowing that your information is going to be treated with the utmost respect and security and privacy in this log, so that we can help to help you to heal and help you to grow. It reminds me of like the custom of, within Christianity, where there's a confession box where you sit on the other side of the box, and there's you go and you see the priest and you confess your sins. And there's something in that, having a witness, having somebody to share what it is that you're holding tight, because the mind, it'll try to protect, and when it does, as we try to protect and we hold on to something, well, then we're hanging on to it and we're stuck with it. Whereas if you share it and you've got a witness there, the mind no longer then has to protect it, and so then you get freedom, you get liberation from it. So it's a really powerful thing. Any questions on this, just ask. So then there's beliefs. What do you need to believe about yourself to be the person that you want to be? What do you need to be? And there's a magic in writing this day in, day out. Even if you don't fully feel it right now, but just writing it. Like, what do you need to believe? And you write it every day, and whatever's coming up that's relevant to you and becoming and your goal. And gratitude, what are the three things that at least three things that you're grateful for? And really feel into these. Like, feel that sense of gratitude as you do this. Forgiveness. What do you need? Who do you need to forgive? Do you need to forgive yourself? Do you need to forgive others? Like, again, the holding on to the story, whilst we're not forgiving somebody, there's a story at play where somebody's done wrong to us, and it's part of our story. It's part of the mind, and it keeps us stuck where we are in our reality. And by exercising forgiveness, it releases that energy, and so we can expand and we can become more. Help needed. What do you need help with? What was your biggest win or wins? We like to encourage wins yesterday, and just feel into it. They might be small. It might be that you just ate according to your meal plan, or they might be you had a significant win. It might be that you spent an hour working on your project. Whatever it is, just log it and you celebrate it as you write it in. And then any comments or requests for your coach. None of these are required. So, any given day, if you don't feel like fully completing it, like I said, the magic is actually in doing it, but they're not required. So some days, you're running short of time, and so you do what you can. You do what you can. You do your best. And then you just press log. And then it'll appear here. And I'll get a notification that you've done it. Well, I'll be able to see when I jump in here that you've done it. And I'll be able to then leave comments. You'll see on some of these that there's, there's likely to be comments on some of mine. Not on that one. But the people that I've shared these with, but they leave comments and they'll leave support. And so I'll be that support for you initially, but the opportunity is to invite other people in your circle into the platform as well. So this is the daily log. It's a super powerful tool. It does require a level of vulnerability. But again, it's that which we're holding on to, which is keeping us stuck. And so by sharing it with a witness, and becoming aware of the places where we're contracting and where we're feeling stuck, and the internal program and the internal code that we're running, our beliefs, the actions that we're taking, any resentments that we're holding that we haven't forgiven, these all work towards keeping us stuck. So that's the daily log. I want to encourage you to, now that you're in the platform, to get started with it straight away. If you have any questions, just reach out.